माधव शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते। गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी। वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय। बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय।
जय। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन।
हरे
हरे
कृष्णा।
कृष्णा।
कृष्णा निशा।
हरे कृष्णा।
ओ रामानुज जी हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
चलो भाई, इंडिपेंडेंस डे मना लिया। फायरवर्क्स।
It was too hot. गर्मी बहुत
बहुत गर्म हो रहा है, राइट? आई थिंक दिस वीक वाज वेरी हॉट। अभी ठीक होगा शायद, नेक्स्ट
हाँ
वीक
अभी ठीक
लिटिल बिट बेटर। या है ना। गर्मी के टाइम में गर्मी तो होती ही है। ऑलराइट, सो हम लोग वी स्टार्टेड रीडिंग अध्याय 47, जिसमें उद्धव जी आते हैं वृंदावन, और उद्धव जी को फिर सब गोपीज भ्रमर गीत सुनाती है, जो हम लोग भ्रमर गीत सुन रहे थे लास्ट टाइम वी हर्ड दैट। सो भ्रमर गीत, बिकॉज एक भंवरा जब वहां घूमता है, उसको कृष्ण भगवान का रूप समझ के राधिका रानी डायरेक्ट उद्धव जी को नहीं बोलती है, और भंवरे के हिसाब के थ्रू काफी कुछ कहती है कृष्ण भगवान को। दैट इज भ्रमर गीत। हम्म? और वो भ्रमर गीत हो जाने के बाद में उद्धव जी उनको कंसोलेशन करते हैं। एंड this what we are reading right now is what Uddhav ji said to all the gopis. Yeah. So we'll start reading श्लोक 25th, Anil ji.
भगवत्युत्तमः श्लोके भवतीभिरनुत्तमा भक्ति प्रवर्तिता दृष्ट्या मुनीनामपि दुर्लभा. By your great fortune, you have established an unexcelled standard of pure devotion for the Lord. Uttam Shloka, a standard even the sages can hardly attain. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। तो ये कौन बोल रहा है? Who is speaking?
गोपी लोग बोल रही हैं क्या?
Yeah. So गोपीज का भ्रमर गीत हो गया, राइट? भ्रमर गीत में काफी कंप्लेन कर रहे हैं, राइट? एज वी सी 10 श्लोक थे भ्रमर गीत में, और 10 श्लोक में 10 अलग अलग भाव से राधिका और राधिका रानी का नाम मेंशन नहीं होता। वह जो विशिष्ट गोपी है, वो जैसे पुराणों में प्रूव किया गया कि वो राधिका रानी है। एंड अलग अलग 10 भाव में वो कहती है कि ये कृष्ण भगवान को अब हमसे, लाइक वाही सो फार अवे बेसिकली। तो उसके बाद में उनको ढांढस बजाते हैं उद्धव जी। सो उद्धव जी बोल रहे हैं सारी गोपियों को, जो भ्रमर गीत गा रही थी, तो बोल रहे हैं कि बाई योर ग्रेट फॉर्चून यू हैव एस्टेब्लिश्ड एन अनएक्सेल्ड स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ प्योर डिवोशन फॉर द लॉर्ड। या भगवते उत्तम है श्लोके, उत्तम श्लोके भगवान पुरुषोत्तम, राइट? उनकी अनुत्तमा से भवती अभिर अनुत्तमा, या बाय योर गुड फॉर्चून व्हाट यू हैव डन, भक्ति प्रवर्तिता, लाइक topmost devotion, says unexcelled standard of pure devotion for the Lord. क्योंकि वो भ्रमर गीत से प्रूव हो रहा है कि इतना डिवोशन जो है, भक्ति डिवोशन कृष्ण भगवान के लिए, वो इस्टेब्लिश करना इतना आसान नहीं है। दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव एस्टेब्लिश्ड, इज व्हाट उद्धव जी इज टेलिंग देम। व्हाट ही इज सेइंग इज कि अनएक्सेल्ड स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ प्योर डिवोशन फॉर द लॉर्ड, उत्तम श्लोक, कृष्ण भगवान को उत्तम जिनकी प्रशंसा उत्तम श्लोकों से की जाती है, इसलिए उन्हें उत्तम श्लोक कहते हैं। सो दैट्स व्हाट लॉर्ड श्री कृष्ण भगवान इज, की जिनकी प्रशंसा उत्तम श्लोक से होती है। एंड व्हाट उद्धव जी सेइंग इज मुनि नाम अपि दुर्लभा, this devotional service which gopis have excelled at, a standard even the sages can hardly attain. जो बड़े बड़े तपस्वी मुनि होते हैं वो अटेन नहीं कर पाते, वो आप लोगों ने अटेन किया है, is what Uddhav ji is telling to all the gopis. Says here the term pravartita indicates that the gopis brought to this world a standard of pure love of God that was previously unknown on this earth. Thus, Uddhav congratulates them on their unparalleled contribution to the religious life. Yeah? And we are still reading Gopi Geet, and this is like so many 5,000 years before. That devotional aspect is still there. We still go and visit Vrindavan. Yeah? Let's continue reading, Anisha.
दिष्ट्या पुत्रान् पतिन् देहान् स्वजनान् भवनानि च हित्वा वृणीत यूयं यत् कृष्णाख्यं पुरुषं परम्. By your great fortune, you have left your sons, husbands, bodily comforts, relatives, and homes in favor of the Supreme Male, who is known as Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Uddhav is telling, because they are physically there, but mentally they are always with Lord Shri Krishna. And that's why they are saying Krishna Akhyam Purusham Param. Yeah, the Supreme Purush, Adi Anadi, Lord Krishna, you have left everything for them, for him, is a great fortune for you. Yeah. Ramanuji?
Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti explains that the gopis gave up their sense of possessiveness toward these objects. History shows that the gopis remained in Vrindavan, living in their houses with their families. However, unlike ordinary persons, they entirely renounced the egoistical sense of possessions of sons, husbands, and so on. They never tried to enjoy them, but rather gave their whole heart and mind to the Supreme Lord as recommended in the great religious scriptures of the world. Following the examples of the gopis, we should love the Supreme Lord with all of our hearts, soul, and might. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what is mentioned is, what we learn from the gopis in Vrindavan is, we also should love the Supreme Lord with all of our heart, soul, and mind. Yeah, that's the love, that's the devotional service for Lord Shri Krishna. सर्वात्म भाव अधिकृतो भवति नाम अधोक्षजे विरहेण महाभागा महानमे अनुग्रह कृत. You have rightfully claimed the privilege of unalloyed love for the transcendental Lord, O most glorious gopis. Indeed, by exhibiting your love for Krishna in separation from him, you have shown me great mercy. Yeah. Again, who is speaking right now?
Uddhavji.
Uddhavji, yeah. And what Uddhavji is saying is, you have rightfully claimed the privilege of unalloyed love for transcendental Lord. Sarva Atma Bhava Adhikrato. You got the privilege to love whom? Bhavati Nam Adhokshaje. Adhokshas is Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah? Adhokshas is again another name for Lord Shri Krishna. And so you have got that unalloyed love. And then he is saying that I am so fortunate. Virhen Mahabhaga. Yeah? And then because you have shown me what? Mahaname Anugraha Krita. So he's saying, by exhibiting your love for Lord Krishna in Virhen, in separation, yeah? Virhen, in separation, you have shown me great mercy. Maha Anme Anugraha Krita. This is what Uddhav is saying, like by showing this love for Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah, even by doing the Bhramar Geet and talking about Krishna Leela and all that, that pure devotional love is what Uddhavji is learning from gopis. And that's why Uddhav is saying that you have shown me great mercy by showing me the unalloyed love for Lord Sri Krishna. Anilji?
The gopis showed not only Uddhav but the whole world the joy of love of Godhead, and thus they bestowed their mercy on everyone. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, because their living devotion was executed in an appropriate way, their love brought the Supreme Lord under their control. Still, to show the intensity of their love, he apparently left them, but now he again manifested himself among them, becoming spiritually present through their intense devotion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So even though he is not physically, but spiritually, Lord Sri Krishna was present. Is what is being mentioned. Nisha?
श्रूयतां प्रियसन्देशो भवतीनां सुखावह यमादायागतो भद्रा अहं भर्तुरहस्करः. My good ladies, now please hear your beloved's message, which I, the confidential servant of the Master, have come here to bring you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so that's what Uddhav is saying. Yeah, listen to the message, Priya Sandesho. Yeah, and I, the confidential servant of my master, have come here to bring you. Right? So Uddhavji has got the Sandesh for the gopis, and that's what we'll be reading now. Yeah. Shri Bhagavan Ramanuji.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bhavitanam Viyogaha mi nahi sarva atmana kavit क्वचित यथा भूतानि भूतेषु कम खम वायु अग्निः जलम महिर तथा अहम च मन प्रणा भूता इंद्रियाना. Can you go down a little bit? Indriyana bhuna ashrayah. The Supreme Lord said, you never actually separated from me, and I am the soul of all creation, just as the elements of the nature, ether, air, fire, water, and earth, are present in every created thing. So I am present within everyone's mind, life, air, and senses, and also within the physical elements and the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so this is what Uddhavji has got the message for the gopis, and the Supreme Lord is saying that you are never actually separated from me. So even though gopis are saying that, why is Krishna not coming here? Bhagwan Krishna is saying, Bhavati Nam Viyogo me nahi sarva atma na kvachit. I am sarva atma. I am there everywhere, so I am not actually separated from you. Yeah, and I, like yatha bhutani bhuteshu, like in everything what is present, those five elements, right? We know those five elements: kham, vayu, agni, jal, and mahi. Mahi is prithvi. Yeah, kham is akash. So akash, vayu, agni, jal, and prithvi is present in every bhuteshu, every prani. Similarly, tatha aham cha manah prana bhutendriya gunashraya. I am also present in everything. I am present in everything. So I am never separated, never viyogo is what is mentioned. Nisha?
According to Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the apparently philosophical language of the Lord's statement conceals a deeper meaning. The Supreme Lord was secretly telling the gopis that he, by way of reciprocating their social love for him, was present with them not only as the soul of creation but also as their special lover. In this sense of the words, the word guna indicates the gopis' special divine qualities which attracted Sri Krishna, and the word sarvatmana, which we have here translated in reference to Lord Krishna himself, corresponding to the word me, which is also in the instrumental case, is also understood in the sense of sarvata or completely. In other words, although in one sense Lord Krishna was absent, he could never be completely absent, since in his spiritual form he is always in the hearts and minds of the gopis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so he's always present with the gopis. Hare Krishna, Vinod ji.
Hare Krishna, Bhaiya. You want me to read?
Yeah.
In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and other books, Srila Prabhupada has elaborately explained that the reason Lord Krishna separated himself from the gopis was to intensify their love for him. And as Uddhav noted, to bless the devotees by revealing to them the intensity of the gopis' love. In fact, the Lord was especially present with the gopis since they are his eternal associates. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti further points out that foolish persons will conclude that Sri Krishna's use of philosophical language meant that the Lord was trying to bring the gopis to the point of liberation by explaining basic points of Krishna conscious philosophy. In truth, the gopis are the most exalted, liberated souls, and their pastimes with Sri Krishna must be understood with the help of authorized acharyas. When the gopis came for the Ras dance, Sri Krishna tried to preach Karma Yoga to them, emphasizing ordinary ethics and morality, but the gopis were beyond that. Similarly, Lord Krishna now offers them Janana Yoga or metaphysical philosophy. But this is also inadequate for the gopis who have achieved spontaneous, unalloyed love for Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is mentioned is basically gopis are in total devotional service for Lord Shri Krishna. आत्मनेवा आत्मना आत्मनाम सृजे हमयुनुपालये आत्ममायानुभावेन भूते इंद्रिय गुणात्मना. By myself, I create, sustain and withdraw myself within myself by the power of my personal energy, which comprises the material elements, the senses and modes of nature. Yeah. Like this physical world is created by him, but he is not in the physical world. He is separated from that. Is what Lord Shri Krishna is telling gopis. Yeah. Says, although the Lord is the supreme entity, there is no absolute duality between him and his creation, since the creation is an extension of his being. The oneness is here emphasized by the Lord. Right? Anilji?
आत्मा ज्ञानमयः शुद्धो व्यतिरिक्तो गुणान्वयः सुषुप्ति स्वप्न जागृति माया वृत्ति विरीयते. Being composed of pure consciousness or knowledge, the soul is distinct from everything material and is uninvolved in the entanglements of the modes of nature. We can perceive the soul through the three functions of material nature, known as wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's clear, right? Being imposed of pure consciousness, that is Atma, or knowledge. The soul is distinct from everything material. Atma is Gyanmaya Shuddho Vyakti Rikto Gunanvaya hai. Yeah, is distinct from everything material. And then, we have read all the three gunas and how do we entangle into the gunas as physical body in the materialistic way, right? But the soul is not impacted by that. Yeah. Says here, we can perceive the soul through the three functions of material nature known as wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. It's explained further, yeah, as we go what it means. This Ramanuji?
It is clearly stated here that the soul Atma is constituted of pure knowledge, pure consciousness, and is thus ontologically distinct from the material nature. Sri Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti points out that the word Atma may also be taken to mean the Supreme Soul, Lord Krishna, since the Lord has just explained in the previous verses that all material phenomena are expansions of himself. The phrase Maya Ritbhir Liyate indicates that the studying this world deeply, we will come to the perception of God. From this point of view, also, the gopis were advised not to be lament. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
येने इन्द्रियार्थान् ध्यायेत मृषा स्वप्नवदुत्थितः तन्निरुन्धादि इन्द्रियाणि विनिद्रः प्रत्यपद्यत. As a person just risen from sleep may continue to meditate on a dream even though it is illusory. So by the agency of the mind, one meditates on the sense objects which the sense can then obtain. Therefore, one should become fully alert and bring the mind under control. Hare Krishna.
What he says, the word Pratipad means to be pursued or restored. The soul that is Vinindra, free from the dreamlike condition of material consciousness, is restored to its constitutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord Sri Krishna, and thus the soul is directly perceived by pure consciousness. And how to get that is by bringing the mind under control, so that you are not impacted by the senses, is what is mentioned. Vinodji?
एतद् अन्तः समामन्यौ योगः संख्यं मनीषिणं त्यागस्तपो दमः सत्यं samyudraanta ivapagah. According to intelligent authorities, this is the ultimate conclusion of all the Veds as well as all practice of yoga, sankhya, renunciation, austerity, sense control, and truthfulness. Just as the sea is the ultimate destination of all rivers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is mentioned is the ultimate conclusion is the Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we are all eternal servitor of Lord Sri Krishna. And what is mentioned is based on the intelligent authorities, Manishinam Etadanta Samanayo Yoga Sankhya Yoga, right? Everything which we do, the practice of Tyag, Tap, Dama, Satyam, what is mentioned is the all practice of yoga, sankhya, renunciation, austerity, sense control, and truthfulness. Just as the sea is the ultimate destination of all rivers, all those things take you to the ultimate goal is the devotional service. That's the ultimate conclusion of all the Vedas. Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in simple words. Anilji?
Here the Lord states that all Vedic literature is meant ultimately to bring the soul to the point of controlling the mind and senses and fixing them in transcendental self-realization. Thus, processes of so-called yoga, mysticism, or religion that involve unrestricted sense gratification are not actually spiritual processes, but rather convenient ways for foolish people to justify their beastly behavior. Lord Krishna here assures the gopis that by fixing their minds in self-realization, they will realize their spiritual oneness with the Lord. Thus, they will no longer suffer the pangs of separation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, So what is very clearly being mentioned is all the Vedic literature is to bring the soul to the point of controlling the mind and senses Why? Because ultimately fixing them in transcendental self-realization. Yeah. And this is what is being mentioned for the gopis, because they're totally fixing their mind in self-realization and on Lord Sri Krishna. They are basically becoming one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because they are one with the Godhead anyways, they actually no need to suffer the pangs of separation. Yeah. Nisha?
यत्वहं भवतीनां वैदूरे वर्ते प्रियो दृशां मनसः सन्निकर्षार्थं मदनुध्यानकाम्यया. But the actual reason why I, the beloved object of your sight, have stayed far away from you is that I wanted to intensify your meditation upon me and thus draw your minds closer to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this?
Lord Krishna?
Yeah. This is Lord Krishna's message for gopis. Yeah. Which is being spoken by Uddhavji. Yeah. And he's saying, Krishna Bhagwan has sent the message that the reason I'm staying away so that you can intensify your meditation upon me and come closer to me. Yeah. Ramananji?
यथा दुरा चरे पृष्ठे मन अविष्ट्या वर्तते श्रीणं चानां तथा चेतः सन्निकृष्टे गोचरे. When her lover is far away, a woman thinks of him more than when he is present before her. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So love in separation is more than when someone is present. Vinodji?
Maya aveshya manah kritasanam vimukta sesa vritti yat anusmarantayo mam nityam akirran mam upayashyatha. Because your minds are totally absorbed in me and free from all other engagement, you remember me always, and so you will very soon have me again in your presence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is again Krishna Bhagwan has sent this message to gopis that, and he knows that Maya Avesha Manah, like because your mind is totally always absorbed in me, says Vimukta Sheshvriti Yatah, right? Everything else is not there in the mind, free from all other engagements. You remember me always, and that's the highest level of devotional service, is what we keep learning again and again and again, right? Total devotion, bhakti, always remembering Lord Shri Krishna every time is the highest pure love of devotion, which is what we learn from gopis. Yeah. And this is a message Lord Shri Krishna is telling to gopis also. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna. Ya Maya Kridata Ratranya Vanesmim Raja Astita Alabda Rasah Kalyanyo Mapur Mad Virya Chintaya. Can you scroll up a little bit? Although some gopis had to remain in the covered village and so could not join the rasa dance to sport with me at night in the forest, they were nonetheless fortunate. Indeed, they attained me by thinking of my potent pastimes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Shukvacha Evam Priyatamaadishtam Akarnya Vrajiyoshitah Ta Uchura Udvam Prita Stas Sandesha Gadashmiti. Sukhdev Goswami said, the women of Vraj were pleased to hear this message from their dearmost Krishna. his words, having revived their memory, they addressed Uddhav as follows. Yeah. So in this chapter, first we read how the Bhramar Geet was spoken by the gopis, then how Uddhavji said that you are so fortunate, and then this is the message Lord Shri Krishna has given, is what we were reading so far, right? And now gopis are addressing Uddhavji again. Anilji?
Gopyuchuhu Dishtya hito hatah kanso yadunam san go gakrata dishtya yapailarbad sarvartha kushalyaste chito adhuna. The gopis said, "It is very good that Krishna, that Kamsa, the enemy and persecutor of the Yadus, has now been killed along with his followers. And it is also very good that Lord Achyuta is living happily in the company of his well-wishing friends and relatives, whose every desire is now fulfilled." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the gopis stopped lamenting, right? Earlier we saw how they were lamenting and they did a Bhramar Geet, we could see that, right? But after listening to the message from Lord Shri Krishna, yeah, they are just talking normally to Uddhavji. Yeah. Isha?
कच्चिद् गदाग्रजः सौम्य करोति पुर्योषिताम् प्रीतिं नः स्निग्धस्रविडहासोदारे क्षणार्चितः. Gentle Uddhav is the elder brother of Gada, now bestowing on the city women the pleasure that actually belongs to us. We suppose those ladies worship him with generous glances full of affectionate, shy smiles. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramanaji?
The name Gadagraja indicates Krishna, the elder brother Agraja of Gada, the first son of Devakrishita. She was the sister of Devaki, who was also married to Vasudeva. The gopis, by addressing Krishna in this way, indicates that he now thinks of himself mostly as a son of Devaki, and the implication being that his connections with the Vrindavan has now slackened. Because of intense love, the gopis could not stop thinking about Krishna for a moment. Hare Krishna.
Guruji?
कथम रति विशेषज्ञः प्रियश्च पुर्योसितां नानुबध्येत तदा विभ्रमश्चानुभाजितः. Sri Krishna is expert in all kinds of conjugal affairs and is the darling of the city women. How can he not become entangled now that he is constantly adored by their enchanting words and gestures? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And say, according to Sridhar Swami, each of these verses is spoken by a different gopi. Yeah. Earlier, the Bhramar Geet is by Radharani, and then everything else, each gopi is speaking. Tarun?
अपि स्मृति न साध्यो गोविंद प्रस्तुते क्वचित् गोष्ठी मध्ये पुरस्त्रीराण ग्रामस्य स्वेर काथंतरे. Can you scroll up a little bit? Yeah. O saintly one, does Govinda ever remember us during his conversations with the city women? Does he ever mention us village girls as he freely talks with them? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gopis are asking if Lord Shri Krishna ever remember them. Yeah. ताः किं निशाश्मति आसु तदा प्रियाभिः वृन्दावने कुमुद शाङ्क्रमे प्रेमे क्वन चरन्नु पुरसराश घोष्ट्या Vaishmabhirititam manogya kathay kadachita. Does he recall those nights in the Vrindavan forest, lovely with lotus, jasmine, and the bright moon? As we glorified his charming pastimes, he enjoyed with us his beloved girlfriends in the circle of the Ras dance, which resounded with the music of ankle bells. Yeah. So the gopis are remembering the Ras dance here. Anilji?
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives the following deep realization about this verse. The gopis knew that no place could be as beautiful as Vrindavan. Nowhere else in the universe could one find such a charming scene as the Vrindavan forest, which was scented with pious flowers and illuminated by the full moon's light reflected from the serene waves of the sacred Yamuna river. No one loved Krishna as much as the gopis, and thus no one else could understand him as well. The gopis rendered intimate service to Krishna that only they could perfect. Thus the gopis were distraught to think that Lord Krishna was bereft of Vrindavan and bereft of their service. Free of all materialist lust, they were overwhelmed with disappointment because they could not give Krishna happiness by their loving service. They simply could not imagine Krishna enjoying anywhere else as he did in Vrindavan in their company. Hare Krishna.
Nisha?
अपेक्षतिः दाशार्हस्तप्ताः स्वकृतया शुचा सञ्जीवयन् नूनो गौत्रैर्यथेन्द्रो वनं बुद्धेः. Will that descendant of Dashraha returns here and by the touch of his limbs bring back to life those who are now burning with the grief he himself has caused? Will he save us in that way, just as Lord Indra being a forest back to life with his water-bearing clouds? Hare Krishna.
Tasmat Krishna ihayati praptya rajya hatahitah narendra kanya udyaha pritaha sarva shradrataha. But why should Krishna come here after winning the kingdom, killing his enemies, and marrying the daughters of the kings? He is satisfied there, surrounded by all of his friends and well-wishers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So different gopis are speaking different things. Yeah. Vinodji?
Kim asambhir vana yu kubhoir anyabhir va maha manah Sri Pater apta kamasya kriya tatah kratat manah. The great soul Krishna is the lord of the goddess of fortune, and he automatically achieves whatever he desires. How can we forest dwellers or any other woman fulfill his purposes when he is already fulfilled within himself? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So gopis are saying he's already fulfilled within himself. No one else can really do anything, right? And he's, of course, the Lord of Goddess of the fortune.
Param Sokhyam hi Nairasyam Swerdini api aha pingala Tadjanatinam na Krishne Tatyahi asa Duryatyaya. Indeed, the greatest happiness is to renounce all desires, as even the prostitute Pingala has declared. Yet, even though we know this, we cannot give up our hopes of attaining Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The Pingla is a story of Pingla in the 11th canto, 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are on the 10th canto right now, as you know, right? We are on the 10th canto, 47th chapter right now. So, Ka utsaheta sanyuktum uttama shloka samvidam anichyato api yasya shri ranganam chevare kvachit. Who can bear to give up intimate talks with Lord Uttam Shlok? Although he shows no interest in her, goddess Shri never moves from her place on his chest. Right? What Gopis are saying that once you talk to Uttam Shlok, you can never give it up. Uttam Shlok is? Who is Uttam Shlok? Who is referred as Uttam Shlok? Yeah. Lord Uttam Shloka is Lord Shri Krishna, right? It's talked about. Lord Shri Krishna, because he is glorified by Uttam, the topmost shlokas. Like all the shlokas is glorifying Lord Shri Krishna, right? They are the Uttam, the topmost shlok. So that's why Lord Shri Krishna is also referred as Lord Uttam Shloka. Yeah? And he's saying because of that, Shri Rangana, Shri is the goddess Lakshmi. Yeah? Goddess Shri never moves from her place on his chest. Yeah? Shri Vats. If you see Tirupati Balaji, you will see on his chest the goddess Lakshmi is present, right? Anil?
Sarichail vano desha gavo benurava ime sankarsha na sahayena krishnena charita prabho. Dear Uddhav Prabhu, when Krishna was here in the company of Shankarsan, he enjoyed all these rivers, hills, forests, cows, and flute sounds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So one more gopi is saying that Krishna was here in the company of Sankarshan. Who is Sankarshan?
Lord Balram.
Lord Balram, right? Lord Balram is extension of Lord Sankarshan. Yeah. So, Nisha?
पुनः पुनः स्मारयन्ति नन्दगोपसुतं बत श्रीनिकेतैस्तत्पदकैर् विस्मर्तुं नैव शक्नुमः. All these remind us constantly of Nanda's son. Indeed, because we see Krishna's footprints, which are marked with divine symbols, we can never forget it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this?
Gopis.
Gopis, yeah. Gopis are saying that we are used to see Krishna's footprints, which are marked with divine symbols. If you remember, we read like what are the divine symbols on Lord Sri Krishna's feet. Yeah. Both the feet, it was explained in one of the chapters that those are the different divine symbols under Lord Sri Krishna's feet. And of course, they see the Krishna's footprints, and so they always remember Lord Sri Krishna. Ramanuji?
Gatya lalit yodhara hasa lilva lokaniha madhva gira rata diya khatam tam vismarma he. O Uddhava, how can we forget him when our hearts have been stolen away by the charming way he walks, his generous smile and playful glances, and his honey-like words? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vinodji?
हे नाथ हे रमानाथ ब्रज नाथार आसन मग्न बुद्ध गोविंद गोकुलम ब्रजिनारण वात. O master of the goddess of fortune, O master of Vraj, O destroyer of all suffering, Govind, please lift your Gokul out of the ocean of distress in which it is drowning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, that's what Gopis are saying, that because Gokul is remembering so much Lord Shri Krishna, right? That's why it's in so much of distress. So they are requesting, hey Nath, hey Ramanath, that God is Lakshmi's Nath, right? Then he's Vrajanath, that's how they are calling him. Hey Nath, hey Ramanath, hey Vrajanath, yeah? Do something. Magnam Udar Govinda Gokulam Vriji Narmat. Like lift the Gokul out of ocean of distress. Karun?
Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti presents the following insight into the scene. Someone might propose to the gopis, why don't you just go somewhere else? Leave Vrindavana and then you won't have to see these rivers, mountains and forests. Cover your eyes with your garments. Use your intelligence to lead your minds to some other thought and thus forget Krishna. The gopis answered this suggestion in the previous verse by stating, we no longer possess our intelligence, for Krishna has taken it away by supreme beauty and charm. Now, in the present verse, the feelings of the gopis become so strong that they disregard Uddhava and turning towards Mathura, address Krishna himself with humble cries. They address Krishna as Vajanta because in the past, young Krishna performed many inconceivable pastimes to protect his beloved village people, such as lifting Govardhana hill and destroying many monstrous demons. In this heart-rending verse, the gopis cry out to Krishna to remember the wonderful, sweet relationship they once enjoyed together as innocent village people. Indeed, Sri Krishna would lovingly take care of his father's cows, and the gopis appeal to him to remember these duties and return so he could resume them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Shukvacha Tatastha Krishna Sandeshe Vyarapeta Virahajvaraha Udhavam Pujayam Chakrur Gyatva Atmana Adhokshajam. Sukdev Goswami continued, Lord Krishna's messages, having relieved their fear of separation, the gopis then worshipped Uddhav, recognizing him as none different from their Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah? Then the gopis are Uddhavam Pujayam. So we saw the conversation between Uddhavji and gopis. We saw how Bhramar Geet was done. We saw how Lord Sri Krishna's message was then given to gopis by Uddhavji. And the normal conversation between Uddhavji and gopis. And then they Uddhavam Pujayam because he is none other than Adokshajam. Yeah? He is non-different than Adokshas is Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah? You see different names of Lord Sri Krishna has come. Achyut, Adokshas, right? Uttam Shloka. All these are addressed to Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah? Says here, Sridhar Swami states that the word Gyanu Atmanam, Adokshajam, also indicates that the gopis recognize Lord Krishna to be the very soul of their lives and thus spiritually one with them. Yeah, so they are already spiritually one with them. Anilji?
Vasakati chinma sangopinam vinudana shuchaha Krishna Leela Katham Gayan Ramayamas Gokulam. Uddhav remained there for several months, dispelling the gopis' sorrow by chanting the topics of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Thus he brought joy to all the people of Gokul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So then Uddhavji remained there for several months in Vrindavan. Says here the great Acharya Jiva Goswami comments in this regard that Uddhav, during his stay in Vrindavan, suddenly took special care to enliven Krishna's foster parents, Nanda and Yashoda. Yeah, also, along with gopis. Nisha?
यावन्त्यहानि नन्दस्य व्रजे अवास्थित स उद्धवः व्रजो कंसा क्षणप्रायाण्यसन कृष्णस्य वार्तया. All the days that Uddhav dwelled in Nanda's coward village seemed like a single moment to the residents of Vraj, for Uddhav was always discussing Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, of course, when Uddhavji is there, Krishnasya Vartaya, always talking about every kshan about Lord Sri Krishna. Ramananji.
सरिद्वना गिरि धोनिर विक्षन कुसुमितान द्रुमम कृष्णम समरस्मयम रमे हरिदोष व्रजौकसम. That servant of Lord Hari, seeing the rivers, forests, mountains, valleys, and flowering trees of Raja, enjoyed inspiring the inhabitants of Vrindavan by reminding them of Hare Krishna, Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So mention out that servant of Lord Hari. Which servant? Who are they talking about here? That servant of Lord Hari.
Uddhavji.
Uddhavji, right? Hari Daso. Uddhavji enjoyed inspiring the inhabitants of Vrindavan by reminding them of Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah, Krishnam Sans Mariyana. Yeah, reminding of Lord Sri Krishna, Hari Daso, that is Uddhavji, yeah, gave them a lot of pleasure, is what is mentioned. Yeah. Says here, Sridhar Swami points out that as Uddhav wandered about Vrindavan, he reminded Vraja's residents of Krishna by asking them questions about the pastimes the Lord had performed in each of these places, namely the rivers, forests, mountains, and valleys. Thus, Uddhav himself enjoyed great transcendental bliss in their association. Yeah, Uddhavji himself enjoyed the great transcendental bliss in their association. Manoj?
Dravastavavam adi gopinam Krishna Vishatama Vikalvam Uddhavaha Parama Pritas Ta Namasyan Idam Jagau. Thus, seeing how the gopis were always disturbed because of their total absorption in Krishna, Uddhava was supremely pleased. Desiring to offer them all respect, he sang as follows: Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now what happens is Uddhavji was supremely pleased, and then he also got the transcendental bliss by going to Vrindavan and looking at the gopis and looking at the highest level of devotional service. And so, desiring to offer them all respect, he sang as follows: Uddhav's Param Pritasta, Param happiness. He Namasyan Nidam Jago. After, with full respect, he sang as follows. So, what we are going to read further is what Uddhavji is singing for gopis. But let's read this. Tarun.
Viklava, mental disturbance, should not be confused here with ordinary material distress. It is clearly stated that Uddhava was supremely pleased, and he felt this way because he saw that the gopis had attained the highest state of loving ecstasy. Uddhava was an exalted member of the court in Dwarka, an important minister in world political affairs, and yet he felt the spiritual urge to offer his obeisances to the glorious gopis, although externally they were mere coward girls in an insignificant village called Vrindavan. Thus, to explain his feelings, he sang the following verses. Srila Jiva Goswami states that Uddhava sang these verses daily while he was in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So I think there are almost 5+ shloks which Uddhavji is singing for gopis. Yeah. So I think we'll pause here and we'll continue to read this. Tomorrow I'll be traveling, so tomorrow we'll pause, but then we'll continue reading on Monday again. Yeah. So Monday we'll read what Uddhavji is singing for gopis. Very, very blissful. Yeah. So let's pause here. And then we are going to listen to the Bhramar Geet again. Yeah. So Bhramar Geet is, as you know, right? Radhika Rani is singing this, and so we are going to, there are 10 shlokas. This is around 6 to 7 minutes. So we'll hear it one more time. Yeah.
मधुपकितव बन्धो मास्पृशङ्घ्रिं सपत्न्या कुचविलुलितमाला कुङ्कुमश्मश्रुभिर्नः वहतु मधुपतिस्तन् मानिनीनां प्रसादम् यदुसदसि विडम्ब्यम् यस्य दूतस्त्वमीदृक् सकृदधर सुधां स्वां मोहिनीं पाययित्वा सुमनस इव सद्य तत्यजेस्मान् भवादृक् परिचरति कथं तत् पादपद्मं नु पद्मा यः पिबत हृतचेता युत्तमः श्लोकजल्पे किमिह बहुषडङ्घ्रे गायसि त्वं यदूना अधिपतिमगृहाणाम् अग्रतो नः पुराणाम् विजयसख सखीनां गीयतां तत्प्रसङ्गः शपितकुचरुजस्ते कल्पयन्तिष्टमिष्टा दिवि भुवि चरसायां काः स्त्रियस्तद्युरापाः कपटरुचिरहास भ्रूविजृम्भस्य याः स्युः चरणरज उपास्ते यस्य भूतिर्वयं का अपि च कृपणपक्षे योत्तमश्लोकशब्दः विसृज शिरसि पादं वेद्म्यहं चातुकारे अनुनय विदुषस्ते भीत्यदौत्यैर्मुकुन्दात् स्वकृत इह विसृष्टा पत्यपत्यन्यलोका व्यसृजदकृतचेता किं नु सन्धेयमस्मिन् मृगयुरिव कपीन्द्रं विव्यधे लुब्धधर्मा स्त्रियमकृतविरूपां स्त्रीजितः कामयाना बलिमपि बलिमत्वा वेष्टयध्वांस्यवद्यः तदलमसितसख्यैर्दुस्त्यजस्तत्कथार्थः यदनुचरितलीला कर्णपीयूषविप्रुट सकृददनविधूत द्वन्द्वधर्मा विनष्टा सपदि गृहकुटुम्बम् दीनमुत्सृज्य दीना बहव इह विहङ्गा भिक्षुचर्यां चरन्ति तत वयमृतमिव जिह्मा व्याहृतं श्रद्धानाः कुलिकरुतमिवाज्ञा कृष्णवद्धो हरिण्यः ददृशुरसकृदेतात् तन्नखस्पर्शतीव्र स्मररुज उपमन्त्रिन् भण्यतामन्यवार्ता प्रियसख पुनरागा प्रेयसा प्रेषितः किम् वरय किमनुरुन्धे माननीयोऽसि मेऽङ्ग नयसि कथमिहास्मान् दुस्त्यजन् द्वन्द्वपार्श्वम् सततमुरसि सौम्य श्रीर्वधूः साकमास्ते अपि बत मधुपुर्या मार्यपुत्रोऽधुनास्ते स्मरति स पितृगेहान् सौम्यबन्धूश्च गोपान् क्वचिदपि स कथानः किङ्करीणां गृणीते भुजमगुरुसुगन्धम् मूर्ध्न्यधास्यत् कदा नु
Quarterfinals, the United States are out, and basically got exactly what they got in Qatar, out of the round. This was earlier on today. It wasn't the best game, Steve, was it? Boring game of football, spin, but Siberia.
All right, so that was the Bhramar Geet you are listening to, yeah, on YouTube. Cool. So I think next we'll read Uddhav's glorification of gopis. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll pause, but we'll again meet on Monday. Yeah. So meanwhile, have a nice time and then see you on Monday. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.